What's up, guys? Welcome back to DCA. So what we're going to do in today's video is take a look at the altcoin market. Now, in our last video, what we did was we looked at Bitcoin and we showed how the development of the bear market and how it transitioned into the bull market has played out in a very similar manner to what we're seeing in this market cycle in the prior two market cycles. So just to quickly recap on that, we showed how when Bitcoin transitions from a bull market into a bear market, we typically see a cross below the 20-week moving average, followed by a cross below the 100-week moving average. That leads to a rapid capitulation in the market. You can see that happen in both cycles. When we drop below this 100, we rapidly decrease in price, right? So we saw it here, here, and then again here. So when that happens, what we then see is a shallowing out of the market, followed by a slow grind back up to the 100-week moving average. The price of Bitcoin typically crosses back above the 100-week moving average just before the 20-week moving average does, okay? And you're seeing the market play out in this cycle exactly like it has in the prior two cycles. So we speculated then that in spite of the fact that things are kind of looking good in the market, and we've confirmed this with a lot of on-chain metrics. We've been doing this all the way back to the beginning of 2023. We've been saying that, hey, a lot of the metrics are showing us that the market looks like it could be poised for a turnaround, right? We've been making those videos since January. But with that said, what does that mean for the altcoin market? So this is a snapshot of Bitcoin. We're looking at historical trends as it relates to Bitcoin. So what I want to do in today's video is dive into the altcoin market. Is now a great time to be buying altcoins? Because as we know, many of our favorite alts are down 70, 80, 90%. So are these assets currently on sale, or is there still a lot of downside in the future for these altcoins? So that's what we're going to investigate today. Now, before we do this, what I want to do here is show you a clip from a video I made back here in December, okay, in December of 2021. All right, so we're going all the way back to 2021. And in this video, the topic of discussion was, should you be holding on to altcoins right now? We're going to take a historical snapshot of the top altcoins back in early 2018, right at the end of the bull market. And we're going to show what the associated risks of holding these altcoins through the bear market and into the most current bull market. And, right now we have things like Solana, Polkadot, Cardano, XRP, Avalanche, Terra, Polygon's up there. So there are a lot of projects that you think of as being quality projects. But let me tell you this, and I can assure you of this. Back in 2017, people thought that, if we just go back, people thought that these projects were the future. There were, I'm not saying everyone thought this, and you'll always have Monday morning quarterbacks, but back then, people thought that these were the future projects. And while many of these still are high market cap altcoins, many of them are not anymore. And so we're just going to look at this and kind of show, for new market participants who don't know the history, we're going to show what this history is and what sort of risks may be associated in the market today. This chart perfectly shows you what the risk of holding crypto is. If you're holding crypto, even Bitcoin, which is thought of as the most stable asset, and even if we go back from its prior all-time highs, has historically been down 80 to 85% in full-fledged bear markets. People flee the market. Now, one of the primary tenets of this channel, and if you've watched any of our videos, you know, when Bitcoin is below its 20-week moving average, it begins to lose value, but the altcoins lose significantly more value. And we're going to look at that today, but we're going to look at a much more important example here. And that's when we have altcoins as our primary value in our portfolio going into a bear market. And if you've ever watched a video I make, I think this may be the most important lesson that you can learn as a new market participant in the cryptocurrency asset space, okay? In terms of investing in times of uncertainty, like we're at right now, it's likely best to have at least core positions in more stable assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum, which, at the end of the day, those are going to get hammered too. Let's just, we'll just quickly do this. We'll pull up Bitcoin and Ethereum, and you can see that even, here's Bitcoin in blue. Even Bitcoin gets hammered during the bear market. Okay, even Bitcoin and even Ethereum get hammered during the bear market. In fact, Ethereum was worse off during points during the bear market than XLM was. But the fact remains, Ethereum and Bitcoin both come back sooner and both made all-time highs throughout the market cycle. So with that said, guys, just keep this in mind. If you're heavily invested in altcoins, it can be a massively risky proposition. The market can always turn around and recover. But if it doesn't, it's very likely that many of your favorite altcoins may never recover to the points where they're at right now. Okay, so, in that clip, we're just illustrating the point that these markets play out in a very predictable manner. So you don't need to be an expert investor to understand that when we started to show the bear market signs back in December of 2021, that the market was very likely headed for a lot of trouble. More importantly, we said in that video that you're going to probably get hammered if you continue to hold Bitcoin. But if you continue to hold altcoins, you're going to get absolutely crushed. And that is exactly how it's played out, guys. And, like I said, I was warning people of this back in December. Now, when I made this video, it got a lot of downvotes. It got a lot of negative comments, people telling me that I'm wrong. I don't know what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, this is what we do on this channel. I'm not here, like a lot of these other channels are, to sell you hopium. I'm not here to sell you hype. I'm here to break down the markets, to analyze the data, and to give it to you straight. If that means you like what I'm saying, fine. If that means you don't like what I'm saying, fine. So everything that we're doing on this channel is because I have a passion for it. I'm not keeping the lights on by making daily crypto analysis videos. I can assure you guys of that. All right, so this just goes to show you guys, the information is out there. It's just, the space gets so muddled down by all of the sources that were in December telling you, we're just gearing up for that next leg of the bull run. And, in their defense, it's quite possible that that could have happened. It's theoretically possible that it could have happened. But when you took in all of the evidence, when you understood the fact that we were showing classically bearish signs in the Bitcoin market by itself, that the Fed was going to be taking a course of action which would negatively impact risk assets. When you took a look at all of these different things, well, then what's the logical conclusion? And it was the fact that we know that if we head into a bear market, you need to understand your altcoins are going to get annihilated. And people that have been holding almost exclusively altcoins, well, guess what? They're probably not in the crypto market anymore because they got wiped out and they got hit so hard that they've lost interest in the market. And when will they come back? They'll come back like they always do. They'll come back right in this zone, right? And they'll be buying altcoins here. They'll be buying altcoins in this zone here. And then they'll be holding them as YouTube's telling them, yeah, guys, don't worry. We're getting ready for another leg of the bull run, when all the signs are out there that we're actually getting ready to collapse again. So with that said, guys, let's hop into it. Okay. So we have a somewhat busy looking chart here, but I'll just break it down for you quite simply what we're seeing. We are looking at a point from January of 2018. So the time that the market topped out. So we'll just go back to the price. We are looking from this point in time right here where the price topped out at around 20K until the time where we cross that 100-week moving average. So on this chart, we are looking at that time frame. So what you're seeing here is the drawdown from that point in time for each asset. And when you say what asset? Well, we're looking at Bitcoin in white, and I've marked that one special, so it has these markers on it. That is the price of Bitcoin, or the percentage change in Bitcoin from that all-time high. And then we have a bunch of the top altcoins. So I've just went through, I've got a historical snapshot back in the beginning of 2018, and I pulled up a historical snapshot, and I just found what were the top altcoins at the time by market cap. And so we had things like electrical optical systems, XRP, Binance Coin, Stellar Lumens, things like this, okay? Cardano, Dash Coin, Tron, and XTZ. And then we said, well, from that point where Bitcoin kind of topped out at the end of 2017 into the beginning of 2018, what did the coins go on to do over that time period until we crossed back above that 100-week moving average, right? So we know Bitcoin obviously went from around 20K, 19 and change, all the way down to 3K. And so we're capturing that percentage change here. And so you're seeing Bitcoin at this baseline here, they're all at zero. So on this day, they all kind of start at zero, right? 0%. But as the bear market goes on, you see them drop in value all the way down until a potential low of 100%. So that, you can't lose more than 100% of the value. So we'll just actually mark that here. Okay, so we have from zero to minus 100%. And if you're above this line, that means you're actually up during that time. And you'll notice not a lot of things were up in this reference time period that we're looking at. Now, what I want to show you is this. So we're kind of we're looking at a period right now that we've kind of just experienced. So you can think of this as the time from when the market topped out in November of 21 all through 2022, and then kind of to where we're at now, because this time period that we're looking at approximately represents that same transition where we went from bull market tops into the bear market, bottoming out, right? So you see Bitcoin kind of bottoming out right here at around 75% down until Bitcoin starts to rally up above its 100-week moving average. Now, this is kind of what we were talking about back in that old video. We were saying that your risk of holding altcoins right now is going to be the fact that if Bitcoin's doing poorly, your altcoins are going to get hammered. And we kind of used a similar analysis to this to make those observations. And you can see that holds true. While Bitcoin was down 50, 55%, 60%, these altcoins are down 80, 85, 90%. All right. And remember, what we've said many times, and this is one of the most critical things that you have to remember when you're talking about percentage change to the downside. If your coin is down 50%, so let's say you've invested $100 and you're down 50%, you are down to $50, okay? If you're down 75%, so you've went from down 50% to down 75%, you now are down to $25. So you have to 2x just to get back to down 50%, to go from $25 up to $50, that coin has to 2x from there. And then it has to 4x from there to get back to your cost basis. So these small percentage changes, when you're talking about from their all-time high, are actually massive differences. So when Bitcoin is down 50% compared to your altcoins that are down 90%, that is orders of magnitude different, because a coin that's down 50% to get back to your cost basis, you have to 2x. A coin that's down 90%, you have to 10x just to get back to the investment you made initially. And this is exactly what happens to people over and over and over again. And so that's why we made that video back in December of 2021, because we said, hey guys, you know, I'm not definitively telling you that we're going to head into a bear market. I don't do that. I don't make a lot of predictions. What I do is I analyze the market, and all analysis that we have access to is telling us, hey, when you start to head down, this is a bad sign, and it's going to be much, much worse for the alts than it is for Bitcoin. All right. And that's all we were pointing out here. So now, let's talk about what may happen with Bitcoin versus the altcoins once we cross this 100-week moving average, because it's a fair question to ask. Is that the time to buy altcoins? And so we're going to look at Bitcoin versus these same altcoins. And remember, these are the top altcoins at the time, guys. These are, you know, these coins like Dash, XTZ, etc. These are essentially the Solanas and Polkadots of the current market, because back then people thought these were the best altcoins. And that's another thing we mentioned in that video, that, you know, everyone thinks that all the altcoins that are out there right now, they're all going to rally and all going to, you know, rallying back and, you know, making everyone huge amounts of profits in the next bull market. But that's not necessarily true, because people thought these were the top altcoins, right? They thought these were the future of alts back in 2018 and 2019. So we're going to come from this line, and remember, this is where Bitcoin crosses that 100-week moving average. This is what really gets the next cycle going. Now, it doesn't mean that we're only up from there, but historically, once we get back above that 100, the things are set in motion that allow the next bull market to begin the process of developing. And we even showed how last time and the time before, the last two market cycles, it's happened about 30 to 50 weeks prior to that, you know, the halving event. And that's exactly where we're sitting at now. We are about a year out from that next halving, just a bit less than a year. And we are right in that zone, right in that exact place where we can expect we get above that 100 and then start to see the market develop into the next bull market. As I'm going to show you this, keep in mind that is not financial advice, and I am not making the prediction that we are definitively heading into the next bull market. What I am saying is this is how it's played out in the past, and we are seeing numerous different indications that things are kind of developing exactly as they have before. What we're looking at here is we've basically reset the counter. We're back to that point where Bitcoin crosses that 100-week moving average. So we're talking May of 2019. That's where Bitcoin crossed above the 100 week. And so what we see is we're all starting at zero again. All of these altcoins are at zero. And we're going to look at, is now a good time to buy an altcoin then? Because that's kind of where we're at now. We're at the place where Bitcoin is approaching crossing this 100-week moving average. And just to reiterate, we're talking about, we are now looking at this point right here, back when Bitcoin was at around 6,700, going into this May, June, July rally of 2019. And so we are now approaching that point. Okay, so Bitcoin's now sitting at around 31K. This 100-week moving average is sitting right at around 32K. So we want to know, once we get above this line, historically, what do altcoins do compared to Bitcoin as we're leading into the bull run? And as I'm going to show you, just like Bitcoin almost outperformed everything back during this time period, right? There was only one or two coins that outperformed Bitcoin back then. And that was EOS right here and Binance Coin. Yeah. So Binance Coin and EOS outperformed Bitcoin. Everything else was massively underperforming Bitcoin. All right. Massively underperforming Bitcoin. Now, what if we bring it out to right here then? And what we see is it's the same story. Every single coin, other than XTZ right here, other than that, Bitcoin by the end of this period, and we're looking up till October of 2020, as the bull market was truly starting, when we broke above some of those resistance levels, and then we went into our parabolic move of the bull market. Up until that point, once we crossed that 100-week moving average, Bitcoin outperformed nearly every single asset for the entirety of this duration. Okay, so Bitcoin was up around 50% during this time, and most of these other coins were underperforming Bitcoin or actually down. So we have several of these coins are down 20, 25, 40, and 50% essentially. So what we're seeing is exactly what we would expect. Even though it may appear that now is a great time to be buying altcoins, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is. You may find that one coin that slightly outperforms Bitcoin, or, I'm not going to say nothing is going to outperform Bitcoin, because it's very likely one or two will, but the vast majority are not going to. And I would just ask you then, what makes you think that you are going to pick that 1 out of 10 or 2 out of 10 that will outperform Bitcoin? Now, you could go down the market cap list, you could go down to 40 and 50 and 60 and 70 and potentially find more that are going to outperform Bitcoin. But the fact of the matter is, it's going to be just like I made this video back in December of 2021 and people were calling me an idiot. These things are by and large going to vastly underperform, and many of them are never even going to recover. So if we just wind this forward then, so that takes us to about October of 2020. When is the point to buy altcoins then? And that point is somewhere now, this is the DCA risk index here. Okay. So this is something I haven't really showed on my channel in quite some time because we've transitioned to Polarity Digital. And because of that, we're using the UDPI now primarily. That's available on our website, polaritydigital.io. And nonetheless, these metrics, ultimately, the output is going to be slightly different here and there, but the broad strokes are going to show you the identical features. If you look, they're both going to tell you the risk is becoming excessively high at particular points. And these points are going to be the point where that is when you'll want to start looking at altcoins, when you can transition out of Bitcoin and then into your altcoins. And we'll just look at how that is here. Okay, so we're looking at like October into the beginning of 21 here. Bitcoin is still outperforming everything. It's still outperforming everything. So it's not until we take a starting point of somewhere out here towards the end of 2021 when Bitcoin is hitting these highest risk numbers. So when the DCA index risk model is saying, hey, get out of Bitcoin, we're approaching 90, that's the highest risk tier, this market is too overheated, it's now a good time to move into altcoins. Because if you look here, now at this point, the altcoins start to massively outperform Bitcoin. At this point in the market, when all of that money is coming from Bitcoin and it's going into the altcoins, that, my friends, is the point where you want to start getting into altcoins. Not financial advice, but I think the math speaks for itself here. And I think you're going to see the exact same thing or a very similar type of thing play out in this cycle where, ultimately, Bitcoin is going to outperform almost everything while we're in this bear market. Okay, so we're looking from back here, back in December when I was making this warning video, Bitcoin's down around, it's down around 35%. If you look at the altcoins, look at these altcoins, 90%, 80%, 80%. So these guys that are calling me idiots, well, they're now out of the market probably. And here I am, I've been accumulating Bitcoin using either the DCA index risk model or the UDPI all through this bear market. So I've bought tons. I put my money where my mouth is. I've been telling you in these videos saying I've been buying tons of Bitcoin. Once we got down to 20K, I said, hey, this market's very scary to me. We might go down to 12K, but I'm buying lots of Bitcoin. You know, oh, we just had another crash. We're down at 16K. Watch out, because if we drop below 12K, our next big resistance level may not be until 8K or 6K, but I'm buying lots of Bitcoin. Right? So I've been acquiring huge amounts of Bitcoin in these zones while other channels are telling you buy Solana, buy Solana when we're sitting at $75. Solana cannot go any lower. I'm sniping Solana at $200. I'm telling you, hey guys, I'm a new channel. I have 2,000 subscribers. You might want to get out of those altcoins because that seems dangerous to me right now. I know I'm nobody in the YouTube space, but a lot of times the somebodies are actually the nobodies. So take it for what it is, guys. But I'm telling you that I've been acquiring, using the risk model, the same risk model that I've been telling you about since I basically launched my channel. I've been buying huge amounts of Bitcoin as we've been down in this second to lowest risk tier. And I've been acquiring huge amounts of Bitcoin. And now I'm from up here in November of 2021. I am up a significant amount now because Bitcoin is the staple of my portfolio and I've been acquiring it all this time, and I've been doing so according to the principles that I've laid out many times on my channel. And because of that, because I've been out of the altcoins, and guys, I'm not just sitting here, talking a bunch of junk. You can watch my videos. You can go back in the past where I say, hey, yeah, I might be buying a few altcoins here and there, but it's such a small percentage of my portfolio that it barely even merits talking about, because I am buying Bitcoin. I'm buying Bitcoin when we're down here because it's the safest asset, and ultimately it's going to yield the best results when we're in the transition from a bear market into a bull market. And then I'll do what I've done in the past, which is transition out of Bitcoin into altcoins when the time is appropriate, as dictated by the risk metrics. If you guys like this type of content, hit like and subscribe. If you haven't checked it out, I would go over to polaritydigital.io. We offer a wide range of risk metrics there, which really do expand upon the DCA index. So there's a lot more you can find there, guys. And guys, with that said, until next time, as usual, see you.